Welcome. I'm Marianne Saylor, Director of the Bureau of Workers' Compensation. Today's training will orient you to the new look and feel of the Wikis screens which have undergone digital transformation. In 2020, the Bureau began the Wikis Digital Transformation Project to update the technology platform of Wikis and improve the user experience. That project is now continuing with more screens being transformed to the new platform. We are confident that you will find it easier and quicker to navigate the transformed screens. The digital transformation project will eventually encompass all of Wikis. We hope your experience with these screens will leave you excited for the rest of the transformation. Thank you, and I will now turn things over to the Wikis training team.
First, I will provide an overview of digital transformation. We will then do a deep dive on a few of the impacted screens and have a demonstration to showcase the new user experience. To conclude, we will review important reminders and next steps. Up first is the digital transformation overview. When the digitally transformed screens go live, only certain screens will have a different look and feel. The rest of the screens in Wikis will remain unchanged. The impacted sections include entry of appearance, healthcare services, and correspondences. The steps used to complete your Wikis activities will not be changed. However, the screen design will now be updated. The digitally transformed screens will primarily be accessed through specific items in the Wikis menu. Most of the links on the dashboard will continue to navigate to screens as they currently display. There are new screen functions, buttons, and icons that will be universal across all digitally transformed screens. We will show these during our demonstration later in the session. At the top of each screen, you will see a green button that will allow you to expand or collapse the Wikis menu. Additionally, the Enhanced Search section will continue to be available. Currently, a green Go button would be pressed to use Enhanced Search. Now you can enter information and then press the magnifying glass icon. Furthermore, you will have options to log out and a question icon to access the Customer Service Center. Buttons are now colored to indicate the type of response you can expect when it is pressed. They are also located strategically to make tasks more intuitive to complete. A blue arrow button will now display in the bottom right when you scroll down on a screen. Pressing this button will automatically scroll you to the top of the screen. Certain processes will display a progress bar which will show which sections have been completed, which section you are on, or which sections are not yet started. The use of icons will increase to allow users to quickly view a screen and select the correct action. Using the Search Correspondences screen, let's take a look at some of the functions which will be available on all digitally transformed screens. Notice that some overall layout changes have been made. The Wikis menu is now located on the left-hand side, so it can be accessed anytime while scrolling through a screen. If you wish to collapse the menu, the green button with 3 lines in the upper left will allow you to collapse the menu so only the icons are visible. Moving across the top of the screen, the Wikis logo can now be pressed to navigate back to the Wikis dashboard. The arrow next to the user's name can be selected to log out of Wikis. Additionally, the Customer Service Center can be accessed by pressing the question mark icon in the upper right. As Internet Explorer is no longer supported by Microsoft, using a different internet browser will allow for optimal performance of the Wikis application, particularly the new digitally transformed screens. When accessing Wikis, please use either Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or Mozilla Firefox. Also, due to the flexible design that will adjust to your browser size, you may find it beneficial to zoom in or out on digitally transformed screens to be able to see more information on the screen. Also, this could allow you to increase the font size for easier reading. There are various ways to zoom in or out, but a few options include pressing the Control key and then the plus or minus key on a PC. Similarly, on the Apple keyboard, you may press the Command key and the plus or minus key. An additional option to adjust the zoom is to access the browser settings. Pressing these three dots in the upper right corner of the browser to display the settings menu, you can then press the zoom menu item. At this time, we will go through some of the digitally transformed screens. The first screen we'll look at is the Change Profile screen. You can see that the same information continues to display, but with a new look and feel. Note that the menu has been collapsed on the left-hand side. It can still be navigated even when closed. If you hover over an icon, the description of that menu item will display, and you can click through the necessary drop-down selections even when it's closed. Additionally, if you are scrolled down on any digitally transformed screen, you will continue to have access to the Enhanced Search feature in the upper right corner. Currently, you would need to scroll back to the top to use this feature. These functions should both serve to make navigating between screens quicker. As mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, most items on the Wikis dashboard will not lead to a digitally transformed screen at this time. An exception is the Search Correspondences link. This will navigate to the Search Correspondences screen, which has been digitally transformed. As a note, on this search, you will have the ability to select dates between which a correspondence has been received. You can either enter the date directly into the text field, or you may press the calendar icon. When you select a date, that date will display inside of a blue circle. There will be another circle on the calendar which is green. This indicates what the current date is. Another new feature of digitally transformed screens is the flexible design. For instance, on this slide, you can see the same search results twice. The top screenshot is the search results on a small screen, whereas the middle screenshot here displays the same search results grid, but on a larger screen. The screens will now adjust to fit the browser size that you are using. Last, once you select the document type link, a View Correspondence screen will display, where you may either select the document title link or the download icon to view the selected document. Now, we will provide a brief demonstration of the application for fee review process. This process begins by navigating to the Healthcare option on the Wikis menu bar, going to Med Fee Review, and then File an Application for Fee Review. The first step that you take in the application for a fee review process is to associate a claim. But first, we do want to show you live a couple of the new features that you will see on all digitally transformed screens. The first one is the menu. Previously, the menu displayed on the top of the Wikis screen. Now, it displays along the left-hand side. As you can see, if I hover over each of these menu items, these sub-menus will display. If you no longer want to see the entire menu, you can collapse it by pressing this green button, which will collapse the menu so that only the icons are displaying. Again, if you hover over these icons, you'll be able to navigate to all the sub-menu items, and whenever you hover over any of the icons, a description of that icon will display underneath, so you know which menu item you're hovering over. If you want to navigate back to the Wikis dashboard, there are two ways you can go about that. You can either press the Home icon within the menu, or you can press the Wikis logo along the top of the page. If you are logging out from a digitally transformed screen, you can do so by pressing the down arrow next to your username, and then a log out option will display. If you need to access the Customer Service Center, you can do so by pressing the question mark icon in the upper right corner. Also, if you wish to use the enhanced search feature, that is still available for you. And if I scroll down here, you're going to be able to see that the enhanced search will follow you as you scroll down the screen. So you're still going to be able to search for any matters using the enhanced search feature no matter where you are on a screen. And also, as we're scrolling down, you can see that on the left-hand side, we are still able to access that menu. So that will help you navigate through Wikis quicker because you're not going to have to scroll all the way back up to the top to use either the menu or the enhanced search feature. Now, should you need to scroll all the way back up to the top, a new feature in the bottom right corner is this blue up arrow. If you press it, I'll press it now, that will scroll you all the way back to the top of the screen in just one scroll. So you don't have to press anything other than a blue arrow one time, and it'll scroll you back up to the top. Now let's get back to the application for fee review process. So you will begin by associating a claim. You have two options here in order to search for the claim. You can either enter information into the search field at the top. Any information about the claim may be entered here. Or you can use the advanced search feature, which is each of these fields below. You can enter specific information about the claim into those fields in order to search for a specific claim. So once you have entered all of your search information, your search results will display below. Once the appropriate claim is found, you can press the Associate button. The matter information will continue to display across the top. And if you wish to view more information about the matter, you can press this plus icon in order to expand the information so more will show. Or if you already know which claim you're on and no longer need all of that information, you can press this up arrow that displays underneath the matter information, and that will collapse the information for you so only the claim number will show. That will provide a little more space for you to do your work. However, if you do need to check on the claim information, once again, you can do so by pressing the down arrow and it will display once again for you. I'm going to collapse this so we have a little more room to look at the application. And then the next thing that you're going to see is a progress bar that displays across the top of the application. So this will take you step by step through each of the required elements of the progress. And the item that you are on is going to display as a blue circle. Anything that has not yet been started is going to display as a gray circle. First, you're going to select the type of review being requested, and then your location. Now we're going to enter the party build information. And as you can see, each of these items display required next to it. That means that that field is mandatory before you complete the application. If you try to finish this application without completing those, an error message is going to display. Once all the information for the party that was billed is entered, you can scroll down to the Choose Correspondence Address section. And here you're going to see two different types of icons within the Actions column. There is a Change Address, which is indicated with the pencil icon, and an Add Address option, indicated with the plus icon. Actions are now going to display as icons, and if you're unsure what type of action is being performed with that icon, you can just hover your cursor over it and then see pop-up that displays what type of action will be used. Now that this section is complete, I'm going to press the Save and Continue button. Our next step on the application for fee review is the Interested Parties and Associated Recipients section. We can tell that we're on this section because it's displaying as a blue circle. The general information section has a green check mark over top of it that indicates that that section is complete, whereas the final two sections display as gray circles, and that indicates that those have not yet been completed. So next we'll go ahead and review the interested parties section, and then once complete, press the Save and Continue button. The next section that we'll look at is the medical bill information. So the first thing you're going to need to do is enter all of the information for the medical bill. So to do that, we'll start out by selecting the date of service from and to, and so you can do so either by entering the date directly into the field, or you can press the calendar icon. Pressing that will display a small calendar where you can press the date which the date of service was. And if you take a look within that calendar, you can see one of these dates displays in green. That means that it's the current date. The date that you select will be displayed in blue. And you can enter the total amount billed, if the bill was paid, not paid, or there was no response, and enter the zip code where the service was rendered. Next, we are going to upload the medical bill. We'll start out by pressing the blue Upload Document button. And as a reminder, a blue button indicates that there is an additional task or activity that must be done within a specific screen. However, it's not the primary button on that screen. So for instance, if we scroll to the bottom, we can see the Save and Continue button displays in green. That's because that is the primary button on that screen that takes you to the next step of the process. There are also gray buttons that display typically on the left-hand side, and those are things like back, cancel, clear. Anything that might remove information is usually going to be on the left-hand side to avoid accidentally pressing that button. Now back to uploading that medical bill. You'll do so by pressing the Upload Document button, and then a pop-up will display to be able to select the document. You'll select Medical Bill as your document type, and then press the Browse button. From here, you can select the appropriate document, press the Open button, and then press the Upload button. Once the document has been successfully uploaded, it will display in the Uploaded Documents grid. If you determine that it is not the correct document, you can delete that by pressing the Delete action within the Upload Documents grid. But once all of your medical bill information has been added, as well as uploading that document, you'll then press the Save button. All of the information that you just entered will then display within the Added Medical Bills grid. Now, a service line does need to be added for each of the medical bills that you add. So in order to do so, you're going to press the plus icon, which displays as Add/Edit Bill Details. So if we press that, we're navigated to this separate Add Medical Bills Details screen. Scrolling down, you can see this Adding Service Line section. Now, if you want to be able to access this a little bit easier, you can click the header within the Adding Service Line section and drag this section to the middle of your screen in case that makes it a little bit easier for you to access. And now you'll go ahead and add the details of the service line. Once all the details have been added, you can press the Save button in order to add that to the Bill Details grid. All right, and then we're going to move this off to the side by clicking and dragging the header. That way it's out of our way. And then scrolling down, we can see all of the bill details that we just added are included within this grid below. And this is a good location to show some of that flexible design that we talked about that will be available within digitally transformed screens. So if you want to be able to see more information on the screen at one time, you can do so by zooming out. So to do that, if you are on a PC, you can press Control and minus, and that will decrease the size of everything on your screen so that you can view more at the same time. On the other hand, if you want to be able to read the information a little bit better, perhaps you can zoom in by pressing Control and plus a number of times to be able to view the information in a larger format. I'm going to go back to my normal zoom level and then press Return to Medical Bill. All right, now that we have added a service line, we'll scroll down a little bit farther. If you like, you can add some additional supporting documents. If necessary, you can do so by pressing the Upload Document button, selecting the document type, and then press the Browse button, select the appropriate document, press Open, and then press the Upload button one more time. And then again, scrolling down, we are able to see the uploaded documents within the grid. If needed, press the Delete icon if you have uploaded the incorrect document. And then scrolling all the way down to the bottom, we're going to press the green Save and Continue button to navigate to the final step of the process. For the final step, we're going to press the check mark to certify, select the manner of service from the drop-down menu. If any additional information needs to be added, you can do so here. And if there is a lot of information displayed within this field and you wish to see more of it without having to scroll, you can click and drag this bottom right-hand corner and drag it to be larger or smaller in order to view more or less information. And once all necessary information has been added, you can press the Submit button. You'll press OK to verify. And then finally, once it has been submitted properly, you will receive a confirmation screen. If you wish, you can then press the link to view the application for fee review. You could print this page for your records, or if you're all done, you can press the green button to return to the dashboard. Now we're going to cover a few additional slides. The last two screens we will review during this session are only applicable for IRE physicians. On the Select Request for Designation Number screen, you will select a radio button for the appropriate request for designation. In lists with radio buttons, only a single item may be selected. Once selected, press the Continue button to navigate to that request. On the Redesignate Physician screen, if needed, you may select the link in the light blue IRE Request for Designation section to view the IRE Request for Designation if you wish to see more information about this request. Then, press the Submit button to complete the process. The confirmation screen will display following submission. If you wish, you may print the screen for your records by pressing the Print button. To submit the Impairment Rating Evaluation Face Sheet and Report, begin by selecting the appropriate request for designation and press the Continue button. On the Impairment Rating Determination Face Sheet and Report screen, The same information will continue to be needed as it currently is. A few notes about the updated design are that the gray fields indicate that the field is read-only. No updates may be made to it from this screen. A white field, on the other hand, may be edited. Also, if a field must be filled in order to submit the screen, a red required indicator will display above it. If it is not completed prior to submission, then the field will display in red with an error message. On some screens, the error message will instead display at the top of the screen. And last, if you wish to verify that the document which you uploaded is the correct document prior to submission, you can select the document type link to open and view the document. If the document which was uploaded is incorrect, you may press the delete icon in the action column. Now, we will cover important reminders and next steps. As a reminder, the screens will be digitally transformed in November of 2022. The PowerPoint presentation we reviewed during this session was distributed via email and includes additional reference slides. Also, a user experience guide was distributed via email to provide a quick reference for Wikis users to better understand the new look and feel of the digitally transformed screens. Please review both the presentation and the user experience guide when your schedule permits. If you have any questions regarding Wikis digital transformation or the new screens, please contact the BWC Helpline for assistance.